Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of Trigger Warning Radio. I am your host, the Kaiju Conservative. Boy, Kathy Griffin, what a right bitch she's turned out to be, huh, guys? I mean, she's back in the news this week, and she's back in the news for a rather vile attack on another comedian. Now, Kathy Griffin was giving an interview for USA Today, and she was asked about injecting politics into her comedy, because, you know, all Kathy Griffin does now with her comedy is insult people, insult Donald Trump, insult the entire Trump family, anybody in the Trump administration, Trump supporters, anybody who likes Trump, she goes after them in very vile and disturbing manners. So she was asked that question, and she said, I do feel like this is such an anxiety-ridden time for everyone that there is a thirst for all kinds of comedy. And look, if you want to not hear about Trump at all, go see Kevin Hart. He doesn't even mention Trump. I personally think that's a pussy move because he's a black man, but I guess he's selling more tickets than I ever will. Oh my God. Holy crap. Okay. Leaving aside the obvious statement that if this was a right-leaning or conservative comedian saying this, let's just not play that game for the moment. So let's take a look at Kathy Griffin's statement. First of all, let me tell you who Kevin Hart is if you don't know. Kevin Hart is a black comedian, and he's very successful. He's been in a bunch of big Hollywood movies. A couple of his films, actually, his films altogether, he's grossed over $1.5 billion domestically, which is very impressive for an actor. It's an extremely impressive number. He's made a lot of money. He reportedly gets paid over $10 million per film, and he does not interject politics a lot into his comedy. And Hart was asked about that by Variety, and he told Variety, when you jump into that political realm, you're alienating some of your audience. The world today is really not a laughing matter. It's serious. I don't want to draw attention to things I don't have nice things to say about. So fair enough. He doesn't want to alienate his audience. He wants people to laugh, and he understands that he is a comedian. He is an entertainer. That's his first job, and if he's not doing that, he's bad at his job. He makes a crap load of money. All of his films make a crap load of money, so he's obviously pretty goddamn good at his job. So let's pick apart Kathy Griffin's statement. She said, her first part of her statement, that this is an anxiety-ridden time and there's a thirst for all kinds of comedy. You know, I'll agree with that. You know, there's so much going on in the world right now, so many horrible things. You know, you've got a lot of good going on. Trump is doing a lot of good with the country. We're getting back on track. The lackluster economy that Obama kept us under, that's reversing itself. Taxes are lower. People are making more money. We've got more jobs than ever. And America is once again on its way to being respected throughout the world. We're close to peace in the Korean Peninsula, and so on and so forth. You know, there's a lot of good, but there's still a lot of bad out there. And when there is a lot of bad in the world, you know, people want to get away from it. And one of the ways that they can get away from that is entertainment, movies, and everybody likes to laugh, so why not take in some comedy? So I'll agree with that part of her statement. So moving on to the second part of her statement, you know, her dig at Kevin Hart. I personally think that's where she says keeping politics out of his act is a pussy move because he's a black man. That is such a horribly racist statement. Oh my God. I mean, you know, if there's one thing that I've noticed over the years, folks, it is that the most racist people on the planet are white liberals. And a lot of times, you know, it can be this soft racism of low expectations, you know, oh, well, you know, black people and Hispanics and so forth, they can't do as well as anybody else if we don't help them, you know, that sort of thing. But every now and again, you know, a leftist, like Griffin lets the mask slip and lets people know exactly how racist she is. So what is Kathy Griffin's, expectation of what a black man should be? I'm sure Kathy Griffin would say, well, a black man is strong, and it's not strong if you're not insulting President Trump. So her expectation from this sentence, her expectation of what a black man should be is somebody who's extremely angry. She straight up called Kevin Hart a pussy because he doesn't take on President Trump, even though he's a black man. That's so surprising that he doesn't insult President Trump and interject politics into his comedy, because he's a black man, and black men, that's what they do. They're angry, they yell, they scream, they throw things, and Kathy. I mean, you're trying to get your career back together. You're trying to have this strong start for your comedy tour, and you go off and just spout a hugely racist statement like that. I mean, the media is not gonna make any hay out of this, of course, because Kathy is a liberal. She's a leftist. She hates Trump. She thinks all the right things, so she can be as racist as she wants with regards to any race, really, anybody. She can be as racist as she wants, and nobody will ever call her on it because she hates Trump. So. But, oh my God, a normal person looking at that and reading that statement, they're going to look at that and they're going to think, why the hell would I see this racist bitch? Why would I want to buy tickets to her show? And that's her next point. She says, I guess he's selling more tickets than I ever will. You're goddamn right Kevin Hart's selling more tickets than you ever will, because Kevin Hart understands what the job of a comedian is, unlike you and the majority of comedians out there, Kathy Griffin. The majority of comedians out there, from your sitcoms to your late night shows to your stand-up, they all think that it's so brave and it's so edgy, and it's pushing the envelope to make fun of President Trump and the Trump family, and to quote unquote call them out and yell and scream at them. And what they fail to understand is none of that is edgy. None of that is pushing the envelope, because everybody's doing it. When you're doing something that everybody else is doing, you're a conformist. If Kathy Griffin was a high school student, she would be one of the goth kids that wears the exact same thing as everybody else and calls themselves as every other goth kid. They wear the same thing as every other goth kid. They shop at Hot Topic, and she would call herself a nonconformist. Well, I'm wearing all black because just like, 15 other people in my clique, because I'm a nonconformist, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, give me a freaking break. Stupid bitch. My God. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize if anybody's offended like that. If you've read anything I've written on Kathy Griffin over the last year or so, I make no bones about how much I absolutely loathe and despise her, as well as I do pretty much most any other comedian out there. We've gotten to this point where it's edgy to be entertaining. What Kevin Hart is doing, not injecting politics into his act and trying to make everybody laugh regardless of their political beliefs, that's edgy. It's edgy to be respectful of your audience. It's edgy to treat them like human beings, regardless of whether or not you agree with them politically. I don't know what Kevin Hart's political beliefs are. I'll be honest. I have absolutely no clue if he likes President Trump or not. He's a Hollywood entertainer. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say he probably doesn't like Trump very much. I'm betting he probably voted for Barack Obama twice. He probably voted for Hillary Clinton. And, that's not because he's black or anything. It's because he's an entertainer, and, the entertainment business is a very conformist business. You don't make money in entertainment if you don't believe what everybody else believes in that. But he's not shoving it in people's faces. He's not insulting the president. He's not calling the people that support him and the people that vote for him Nazis, bigots, racists, Neanderthals, knuckle draggers, whatever other insult you want to come up. He's not insulting his audience. And that is what's edgy today, folks. Look at Roseanne, the Roseanne reboot. Literally the most successful show on television. The most successful show that ABC has had in the last 20 years. Look at Last Man Standing. Another ABC show which had a conservative older dad in the form of Tim Allen. Hugely popular show. Not necessarily because of their politics, but because they respected their audience. They didn't insult their audience. They didn't talk down to their audience. They treated their audiences as smart. And those shows did very, very well up until the point where ABC canceled them because, well, politics. Even though, supposedly Last Man Standing wasn't doing that well. And of course, Roseanne, we all know that apparently she's now a racist. That's what that's what comedians don't understand today, folks. People don't want to be talked down to. They don't want to be yelled at. They don't want to see people holding up the severed heads of presidents, regardless of who's president at the time. They don't want to be told that they're stupid. They don't want to be told that they're racist just because they supported somebody different. They want to be treated like people, and they want to laugh. That's what they want from their entertainers. And until comedians understand that, until the entertainment industry as a whole understands that, it's going to continue to be edgy to be respectful to your audience. It's going to continue to be edgy to leave politics at the door. It's going to continue to be edgy to have as your goal the making people laugh. And it just shows the sad state of comedy today and how far that a once, I don't want to say noble profession, but a once valued profession. It just goes to show how far it has fallen in the public mind. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. What do you think about Kathy Griffin? Do you think she's a racist bitch like I do? Do you actually find her funny? If so, what do you find funny about Kathy Griffin or somebody like her? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you liked what you heard, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Both of those things help me out quite a bit, and I will see you all next time.